This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Brittany is away tonight. A Manitoba First Nation is running out of time to prepare for what could be a devastating flood. Peguis First Nation has been ramping up efforts to sandbag and protect as many homes as possible amid rising river levels. The CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco is in Peguis with the latest. So Santiago, how are residents there feeling?
Well, Riley, there's just about a week left before the runoff from the spring mill is expected to reach its peak. Residents here are worried they might lose their homes to flooding. Around 200 buildings, just like the one behind me, are at high risk, and there's worry there might not be enough time to protect all of them. One of those residents expressing concerns is Melvin Spence. He was forced out to flooding about 2 times before. Then he had to deal with damages and mold when the water receded. He's worried that might happen all over again.
But it seems to be we're doing pretty good. I think we might hold some of the water back, but not going to hold it all.
So Santiago, we have seen some of the images there of people who are filling sandbags in the community. How is the First Nation working to speed up preparations?
Well, Riley, they have begun stuffing smaller sandbags into bigger ones. That allows crews to build barriers faster, and saving time here is crucial. That is because some of the snow has started to melt, and some of the ditches are already filling. There's also a weather system expected for Peguis here tomorrow that can bring more precipitations. With all of this, at least 60 volunteers from outside of the community are here today in the First Nation trying to help. I spoke to one of the volunteers.
It's very emotional for me. I grew up in an area that flooded as well, so to be able to come back and do what I can to help someone else is priceless.
Now, Santiago, as you've shown us there has been a lot of preparation underway already, a lot of people in the community helping to prepare, but have there been any word on evacuations yet?
Yes, there has been. So even with all of this prep work, the province said some people might still need to leave the community. If the water spills over the highway, it might be too unsafe for residents to stay. The Canadian Red Cross has already started deploying some of its personnel here, and the chief of the community says the situation remains critical. Riley?
Thank you, Santiago. The CBC Santiago Arias Orozco in Peguis First Nation for us tonight. A Winnipeg organization is urging people to test their drugs. Resource Assistance for Youth says 5 people have died within 2 weeks after using drugs. The CBC's Alana Cole now on what they are doing to keep people safe.
This is the oxygen machine Resource Assistance for Youth, known as RAY, has for drug emergencies. Kate Schoberg says they're using it every week.
The oxygen really acts as a protective measure to keep someone healthy while we're waiting for additional support from paramedics.
Within the last 2 weeks, Schoberg says they know of 5 people who have died after using drugs. 4 staff knew well, 1 as young as 19. She says another lived in a Manitoba housing building they serve. It's a loss felt by community members they work with.
It's a moment of tremendous loss. Many folks that access our organization are coming here in part because they have already experienced tremendous trauma in their own lives. And many people that we serve have already lost people to the drug toxicity crisis. And so it's not just the loss of their best friend, it's a reminder of the other people that they've lost.
Schoberg says that number of deaths in that time period is high. She cautions about changes to the drug supply, making it unpredictable, including the presence of an animal tranquilizer.
We've been talking about medetomidine for the last 2 weeks, and it's part of the drug toxicity issue that we're seeing right now, and that presence has really changed how people are presenting in terms of when they're experiencing drug toxicity.
Schoberg points out the need for a supervised consumption site to open. She wants to see people get access to a safe supply as an alternative to street drugs. Ray already makes harm reduction kits and the opioid reversing drug naloxone available. They're also reminding people to use a low dose to start. Make sure you're not alone and have a phone to call for help if you need. Alana Cole, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Manitoba First Nation says it will take legal action if the province doesn't remove a gas main from its territory. The pipeline runs across Roseau River and Anishinaabe First Nation. It will connect two stretches of a Manitoba hydro pipeline project the province greenlit last month. A Roseau River councillor says the community faces dangers like pipeline ruptures while not getting any benefits.
You know, it's not tied into our homes. It doesn't heat our homes. It doesn't provide any kind of energy for our community. It just passes through and then, you know, goes on to service neighboring communities in the region.
The community sent a letter threatening potential legal action. Robert says hydro workers entering the community will be told to leave. The province and Manitoba Hydro say they are looking into the matter but can't comment at this time. A man who admitted to selling drugs in Winnipeg is trying to take back his guilty pleas. He's alleging he was forced to plead guilty by a disgraced police officer now in prison for corruption. The CBC's Caitlin Gowerluck was in court and has more.
He knew him as Alpha, but a man being prosecuted for drug trafficking says he knows now that officer's name is Elston Bostock. The admitted drug trafficker can't be named because of a publication ban. He told a Winnipeg court on Wednesday he wants to withdraw his guilty pleas on the drug charges he's facing because he says Bostock forced him to enter them. Bostock was sentenced in January to 7 years in prison after admitting to years of corruption and other crimes. He's also been removed from the force. The man making the allegations against Bostock described himself as a gambling addict who ended up owing money to drug traffickers and was then forced to work for them. The man told court one of those traffickers talked about having a police officer in his pocket and said he heard that officer would sell the trafficker things he stole, like gold chains and guns. The man alleged Bostock worked with the trafficker who he owed money to and said both men threatened him after he was arrested for trafficking because they thought he might implicate the trafficker. The man said Bostock held a gun to him and threatened to dump his body in the river where no one would ever find it. The man told court he came to Canada as an international student and didn't know who to turn to. He said he was afraid to go to the police and worried about his family's safety. The hearing to determine whether he'll be allowed to withdraw his guilty pleas is scheduled to continue on Thursday. Bostock's lawyers didn't respond to a request for comment. Caitlin Gowerluck, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg City staff are advising against a supervised encampment for people experiencing homelessness, at least for now. A new report says such a site would take significant resources away from other projects and could cost hundreds of thousands or even more than $1 million, depending on the size. The idea of a managed encampment has the support of advocacy groups like St. Boniface Streetlinks. The founder of that organization says she is disappointed but not surprised.
A lot of this is politics over people. I don't know how bad it has to get in the city before the mayor realizes that the politicians are not the true experts here and that maybe they should be looking to some of us that actually have our feet on the ground in the trenches.
Council's Executive Policy Committee will discuss the report next week. All right, time for a first check on our weather forecast, and certainly a lot of folks outside smiling today because of those double-digit temperatures that we saw across southern Manitoba throughout the afternoon, albeit a bit windy today. That is all about to change, though. Let's get a first check on the forecast now with meteorologist Colette Kennedy.
Thanks, Riley. Yeah, for so many parts of the province, you know, just a beautiful and mild day, and it'd be nice to linger on this and talk about it and enjoy it. But we've got active weather with winter knocking on the door again, so we'll get into that in just a moment. But a quick look at some of the temperatures from just a tiny bit earlier this afternoon. Melita 17, Winkler 18, Portage 18 as well. And as we know, some of these temperatures continue to climb as we've been pressing into the evening hours. So some really nice conditions conditions, but all of that changing as another system moves in. We've got a special weather statement from Environment Canada for a wintry mix, looking at some freezing rain and ice pellets starting late overnight tonight and then kind of lingering off and on through the day tomorrow and then even overnight into Thursday. So a very wide area in the special weather statement. In terms of what we have on tap, -3, then dropping to -5 by tomorrow morning with some slick roads. You're really going to want to watch things if you can work from home. Tomorrow would be a good day to do that with that warmer air overriding cooler air at the surface, and we really get into these tricky conditions. Much more on this to come.
All right, thank you, Colette. Still ahead for us tonight, the inquiry into the troubled Winnipeg Police Headquarters project continues. But what lessons were learned? Coming up, we'll hear about what changes the city could make for future projects. That and more still ahead. Stay with us. A newly released government document is shedding more light around the departure of Manitoba's former teacher commissioner, Bobby Taillefer. The premier said last week she was fired Taillefer on Tuesday, though, said she resigned. Well, now there is more evidence that seems to support Taillefer's side of the story. The CBC's Ian Fraze joins us from the newsroom. So, Ian, what does this government document say?
It says, Riley, that Bobby Taillefer resigned. That's how she described her departure. That's what the education minister described it as at first, but not the premier, Wab Kinew, who called it a firing. Taillefer was appointed Manitoba's first commissioner to investigate teacher misconduct. She says she voluntarily resigned last week after media learned she was working remotely in Florida. She says government knew she was in the U.S., though the premier and education minister Tracy Smith say they did not know. On Wednesday, Smith argued the specifics around the departure don't really matter.
It's unfortunate the way that it's played out in the media, but what we did, Honourable Speaker, was in the best interest of Manitobans. That's right. And it was done to make sure that Manitoba kids are protected by a commissioner that lives and works in Manitoba. So sue me. That's okay? Right.
Both Schmidt and Taillefer say the contract had no stipulations around where the commissioner worked from.
Ian, another day at the legislature, and we have yet another allegation of heckling going too far.
That's right, Riley. NDP House Leader Nahanni Fontaine says PC education critic Wayne Owasco yelled this at the premier.
You're drunk. I thought you quit drinking. But again, the member for Lac du Bonny has shown that members of the PC caucus can't control themselves. They're rearing their anti-Indigenous racism.
Owasco's office did not respond to a request for comment. Now the PC say the government is trying to distract from the real issues. Tory House Leader Derek Johnson says the NDP raises these unfair accusations of racism, misogyny, and homophobia all the time.
These are words that mean a lot, are not accepted in other parts of this country as parliamentary language, but they continued to be slung across this House over and over and over again.
This back and forth, another example of the negative behaviors we see during question period. The Speaker recently called the state of decorum atrocious, and he will be investigating this latest incident. Riley.
Thank you, Ian. The CBC's Ian Fraze in our newsroom. A report commissioned by the Winnipeg Police Headquarters Inquiry recommends urgent changes to the way the city manages major projects. Bartley Peguis has the story.
The Winnipeg Police HQ Inquiry is spending April looking at the way the city of Winnipeg manages major construction projects. The inquiry asked consulting firm KPMG to assess how well the city's doing. KPMG says the city has improved the way it oversees major projects. KPMG audited the Police HQ construction in 2014. In its new review, it recommended 3 urgent changes: creating custom-tailored plans, clarifying who's responsible to make decisions, and reporting more frequently to City Council. Danny Tooth, the city's project oversight manager, told the inquiry improvements are underway. He agreed the city needs even better oversight. The city plans to spend $1.5 billion to finish upgrades to its largest sewage treatment plant. Last month, the premier said his government called the inquiry to ensure these upgrades go smoothly.
City of Winnipeg's always asking for these huge investments from all of us, right? The North End Water Pollution Control Center, for instance, is a multi-billion-dollar investment. I just want us to understand what went wrong with the Winnipeg Police Headquarters before we potentially see similar mistakes made on other big construction projects. So that's why we got the inquiry going on.
Winnipeg's mayor said in a statement the sewage upgrades are an opportunity for the city to show how well it's improved since the police HQ was built. Bartley Peguis, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A woman was arrested after a nurse was assaulted at the hospital in the Pas last weekend. RCMP were called to the town's hospital Sunday night. The Manitoba Nurses Union says a patient punched a nurse in the face and head. The union says attacks against health staff are on the rise.
We're seeing nurses yelled at, spit at, having things thrown at them, punched all the time in this province. And it seems that it's getting more common, but even more frightening is that it's almost like it's accepted now.
Police say the nurse received minor injuries. A 45-year-old woman was arrested and charged with assault. RCMP says she has been released from custody. All right, time for a full check on our Manitoba weather forecast now. And certainly some very warm temperatures in southern Manitoba, but I want to show you some video from Flin Flon, a totally different story with snow falling throughout the day, reduced visibility on highways, and parts of the north are poised to get even more snow. Colette Kennedy is back with our forecast.
Yeah, thanks, Riley. It's like a 1-2 punch. We've got a couple of systems to talk about here. Obviously, the one bringing snowfall to Flin Flon, and at least, you know, it's sort of one area for the most part of the province being affected by the one storm and a different area for the second one. But through this, going back to earlier in the day when the snow began and then taking us through to a little bit later on tonight, we are looking at that range, but in many cases it is in that 15 to 20 centimeter range in terms of the snowfall accumulation. So that yellow level snowfall warning still in place because of those amounts. Then, because of the next system moving in, we have the special weather statement. This really begins overnight tonight through the day tomorrow, even if it's intermittent at times, and then tomorrow night into even Friday morning with a wintry mix. And one of the worst things in here is this risk of some widespread and prolonged freezing rain. So ice pellets too. But listen, we've got the one system exiting, so at least you're getting improvement there, Flin Flon towards Norway House. But here comes the next one, and with this we get warmer air overriding cooler air at the surface. So Brandon southward, Melita into freezing rain or freezing drizzle in here, ice pellets, and then snowfall north of that, and that's in the wee morning hours by 7 a.m. spreading across towards the Red River Valley. So getting into this into Winnipeg, a great day to work from home if you can do that. On the backside where we have the cooler air, because those winds will be turning to the north and breezy, it's more of a prolonged snowfall situation here. Here comes another round coming on through Thursday night into Friday, and in between there may still be freezing drizzle. So quite the day we have on tap tomorrow, and it's going to take its time moving out, and that's why in some of the areas we're talking about the snow continuing to pile up before it exits. In terms of ice accretion, maybe some of the worst being back here towards Brandon, 5 to 10 millimeters of that ice buildup. Heavy too to the east of the Red River Valley and into northwestern Ontario, but even in between, it doesn't take much, right, to make the roads really treacherous. The snowfall with this system, we're talking about 5 centimeters to perhaps approaching 15 centimeters on the backside. For Winnipeg, it should be more of a 3 to 5 centimeters, and that depends how much of a wintry mix we get in there. So your temperatures tonight -5, 0 the high tomorrow. That's one of the problems, right around that freeze point. Into Friday, eventually we get out of the mix and we get some of that light snow coming through. By Saturday, quite a few clouds are still going to be lingering, 1 degree for our high, but take heart, Sunday the sun comes back, and by Monday, hey, we may just be back there into those mid-teens again.
The weather update is brought to you by Paul Davis Property Restoration Experts. When things go wrong, we do what's right.
All right, look at some of that sunshine as we head to break. Not a lot of snow left. We're back right after this. Saving up for a down payment on a home can be difficult, and for many, it's what keeps home ownership out of reach. But a collaboration in southeastern Manitoba between a developer, a construction company, and a credit union is looking to get people over that hurdle. The CBC's Christopher Garreau shows us how a 1% down payment program in Steinbach is helping.
Home ownership is out of reach, with minimum down payments of tens of thousands of dollars. That's what Steinbach sisters Maya Bunk and Bea Hebert thought.
My husband and I got married. We lived with our parents for the first 6 months to save up to buy a home. And then when it came down to it and we started looking, it was almost impossible for us.
Developer Waldo Newstater, inspired by a village in Florida built by Habitat for Humanity, decided to create a made-in-Steinbach solution.
I would have to say it would come back to my faith and living out that faith and giving back to the community and having a purpose in life and you know, folks that need a bit of a hand, that it helps them.
In 2018, Newstetter teamed up with local construction company Three-Way Builders and Steinbach Credit Union to offer mortgages with down payments of just 1%. And with Newstetter's financial backing, buyers avoid Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation insurance fees that can run into the thousands of dollars. This week, they're expanding to the community of Mitchell with another 223 homes just west of Steinbach. Steinbach Credit Union CEO Curtis Wenberg says it's able and open to expand 1% down payment mortgages to more developers.
We've not had credit losses. And not only that, but we can see the community growing and we can see people benefiting from these sorts of things. And so that's just really a proud moment.
The homeowners are often new to the country, coming here for jobs employers are desperately trying to fill. Eastman Immigrant Services helped more than 1,100 immigrants to the Steinbach area last year. Most need help finding housing. Others are lifelong locals like Bea Hebert, who could not save for a larger down payment and pay rent at the same time. She now lives with her family in a duplex she owns.
I feel like it gives us like a step forward, finally. It always felt like, oh, we're kind of on hold, stagnant, and now it feels like, oh, wow, someone's kind of got your back.
1% down payments have allowed thousands to either move to or stay in the Steinbach area. Newstetter said he's eyeing more property in Steinbach to build more with this program after he's done in Mitchell. Christopher Garreau, CBC News, Steinbach.
The 3 new members of Mark Carney's Liberals are now in Ottawa. The new MPs haven't yet been sworn in, so they haven't taken their seats in the House of Commons, but it's already clear the vibe on Parliament Hill has changed. Ashley Burke has the details from Ottawa.
The Liberal caucus celebrating Mark Carney's new majority era and the latest MPs to help get him there.
I do have a big ground there, Grand Surya.
The Prime Minister introducing the 3 winners of Monday's by-elections.
Canadians have placed their trust in the government's plan. We now have reinforcements to help implement that.
Carney also returning to the House to face off against his main rival.
Why doesn't he follow our full plan to reduce gas prices by 25 cents a litre by getting rid of all the taxes for all the year?
What we are not doing is what the Leader of the Opposition is proposing, which is to substantially increase the deficit, something he's regularly against.
What he is not doing is increasing the deficit. It's only up by 100% since he took office, Mr. Speaker.
The Prime Minister taking aim at Poilievre for saying in a recent interview he's badly educated on economics.
One thing I've learned in my economics education is you've got to study history and you've got to look at numbers.
Why doesn't he learn his lesson from all the failed economic experiments that only benefit insiders with tax havens like him?
Poilievre has vowed to stay on as leader despite losing 4 Conservatives to Carney's team since the fall.
Mr. Speaker, to learn a lesson, you have to have ears to hear. There are some on the benches opposite who've been listening, Mr. Speaker.
Privately, some Conservative MPs say morale is low, and there are serious questions about Poilievre's viability. But publicly, MPs are lining up to support him.
Are you worried about cross-border crossers? No, I'm not. I feel like the leader has the confidence of caucus.
We're united behind Pierre Poilievre to lead us into the next election.
Pierre has grown our movement to historic highs.
It's unclear if the Conservatives have been able to stop the floor crossings. Sources say the Liberals are in talks with MPs from other parties about if they'll join their team. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
There's a shift coming in how asylum seekers will soon access some health care in Canada. Thomas Dagg explains what's changing and the fierce blowback.
Across Canada, doctors and advocates warned government spending cuts are about to make 600,000 newcomers all the more vulnerable.
These are cruel cuts that are really punching down on the most vulnerable and marginalized segment of our society.
The Carney government will soon make asylum seekers cover 30% of the cost of some services like dental, vision, and mental health, and pay $4 for prescriptions.
We say no way!
Protesters rallied on Parliament Hill, seeing it as an attack on universal health care. While in St. John's, they wrote letters to MPs demanding the changes be called off.
The goal is that the federal government realizes that there's widespread opposition to these cuts.
The Interim Federal Health Program, as it's known, provides temporary coverage for some newcomers.
Call your MP.
Like Christopher Kombwe, who came as a Ugandan refugee in 2019 and would be on the hook to co-pay for mental health counseling if she were only arriving now.
Let them cut somewhere else, but not health care.
The federal government stresses basic health benefits like hospital visits will remain fully covered.
The changes are set to take effect next month, and it's not the first time the program faces cuts.
In 2012, the Harper government faced protests and a court challenge after scaling back coverage. The Liberals restored the program, but the price has exploded. The parliamentary budget officer says the cost is forecasted to go from $211 million in 2020 to $1.5 billion in 2030.
The costs for this program are growing very quickly.
Still, healthcare groups including the Canadian Medical Association, Pediatric Society, and Psychological Association all insist the changes will create significant barriers to access.
People will suffer physically, mentally, and these cuts may result in people dying.
A grim warning echoing across the country. Thomas Dagg, CBC News, Toronto.
The war in the Middle East has been driving up gas prices for weeks, and now those additional costs are likely to increase your grocery bill. CBC News has confirmed that companies that deliver food to stores are warning of a new surcharge, blaming the soaring cost of fuel. And that charge could be passed on to you. Inese Hadari has more.
Grocery costs could be on the rise again because fuel to get food to the supermarket is way more expensive. This store owner is already seeing higher costs, with some suppliers adding a fuel surcharge.
So everybody is doing it somehow. It's coming. I mean, it's either a percentage of sales that they're charging or a flat fee.
Maple Leaf Foods now charging an extra 11 cents a kilogram for prepared meats and poultry. A letter from the company obtained by CBC News explicitly blames the closure of the Strait of Hormuz and higher fuel costs. They aren't alone. CBC News has seen similar requests from grocery suppliers Tree of Life, Atlas Foods, and Sunrise Farms. Sobeys has told CBC News it's declined to pay fuel surcharges. Metro wouldn't provide details, nor did Loblaw, though it said it pushes back on what it calls unjustified increases. But high fuel costs are likely to influence food costs, and smaller stores can't eat that.
On paper, prices are higher because freight is higher.
This Ontario grocer says they have to keep a close eye on prices.
We are very, very much a sense like a penny and a nickel business where we are always tracking where costs are relative to and where prices need to be to maintain a suitable profit margin to be able to run the business effectively.
And an upcoming temporary federal tax cut on fuel may not make a difference.
Depending upon where you're located in the country, the prices have gone up by 50%. Dropping the price of diesel by 4 or 5 cents a liter really isn't going to be impactful.
While many supermarkets have said price increases could be slow to see on the shelf, supply chain experts have said if fuel costs go down, price decreases may also be slow. if they come at all. Anis Haidari, CBC News, Calgary.
Concert giant Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster are facing more scrutiny today. This afternoon, a New York jury found the company had an anti-competitive monopoly over big concert venues and overcharged customers. The civil case accused the company of using its reach to block venues from using multiple ticket sellers. It was originally launched by the U.S. government along with 39 states in 2024 under former President Joe Biden. The Trump administration later settled with several of the states. That settlement deal included allowing but not requiring venues to sell seats through Ticketmaster competitors. It did not require Live Nation to split from its subsidiary, but potential sanctions from today's verdict could order the company to divest from some venues that they own. That is set to be determined in a second trial. Lawyers for the companies have yet to comment. Katy Perry has been accused of sexual assault. Now an investigation is underway that could involve the singer. The allegation was made by Australian actress Ruby Rose. She publicly shared her claims on social media platform Threads. Rose said the singer assaulted her at a nightclub in Melbourne nearly 20 years ago. State police from Victoria are now looking into what they say is a historic sexual assault. They did not name anyone involved, but confirmed it dates back to 2010. A representative for Perry has denied the claims. Still ahead, as the two-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran arrives at its midpoint, is a fresh round of peace talks being planned between the U.S. and Iran. We'll bring you the latest from the White House and the Middle East just ahead. Stay with us. We're back right after this. Overseas tonight, as the two-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran arrives at its midpoint, the White House is denying it requested an extension. Even so, the Trump administration is warning it is preparing more economic measures against Iran. The CBC's Katie Nicholson has more.
There's roughly 1 week left in the U.S.-Iran ceasefire, and so far, no deal. The White House press secretary flatly denying reports the U.S. formally asked to extend the truce.
That is not true at this moment. We remain very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the Vice President directly and the President this week that these conversations are productive and ongoing, and that's where we are right now. I've also seen some reporting about the potentiality for in-person discussions again. Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House.
If there are more in-person talks, Caroline Levitt said, they'd likely also be in Islamabad, where the first marathon round took place.
Do not attempt to breach the blockade. Vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure.
After those talks failed, the U.S. started a blockade targeting Iranian vessels and ports.
If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force.
Designed to inflict economic pain on Iran, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said there's more potential economic warfare to come.
We want to freeze more funds of the leadership of the IRGC and any members of Iranian leadership. The other thing that we have done is we have told countries that if you are buying Iranian oil, that if Iranian money is sitting in your banks, we are now willing to apply secondary sanctions, which is a very stern measure, and the Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities.
The U.S. Treasury has already sent 2 letters to banks in China, Iran's biggest oil customer, warning if they can prove Iranian money is moving through their accounts, they'll face sanctions. Another pressure point that could further weaken Iran. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
There are reports that Israel's security cabinet is considering a ceasefire on the other front of the war in Lebanon. But for now, Israel is pressing ahead with its offensive against Iranian-backed militants in the southern part of the country, and Hezbollah has been firing rockets toward northern Israel. The possibility of an end to hostilities came after rare direct talks between the Israeli and Lebanese governments on Tuesday. There have now been back-to-back school shootings in Turkey. Officials in southeastern Turkey say 9 people were killed and 13 others wounded in a shooting Wednesday. It comes the day after another gun attack wounded 16 people at a school in a nearby province. This time, victims included a teacher and 3 students. Some of the injured are in serious condition. Authorities say the shooter was a student armed with guns believed to belong to his father, a retired police officer. The 14-year-old gunman was killed, but it's not clear whether he or police fired the fatal shot. Until this week, school shootings have been extremely rare in Turkey. All right, time for another check on our forecast with meteorologist Colette Kennedy. And Colette, winter just does not seem to want to let go.
Thanks, Riley. I know, such a beautiful day, and I just want to be jumping and moving into spring, and then here comes winter, not allowing that to happen. So the yellow level snowfall warning for that 10 to, in some cases you're already beyond that, 20 centimeters of snow. That system exits tonight, and then the next one comes in. So the special weather statement, and we're looking at a wintry mix, freezing rain, ice pellets, some snowfall in there, maybe all 3 in some cases. Some areas will be experiencing. So as we move through time, this will begin to get a little more organized. And just as that one's leaving, here we are. This is early tomorrow morning. It's already moving into southwestern parts of the province. You'll be experiencing it into Brandon very early in the morning. If you're an early morning commuter, work from home, a great idea for tomorrow if you even have that possibility, because even by the morning commute, I think it will will have spread towards the Red River Valley with some of this mixing. Again, could be ice pelts, freezing rain, may become a little more consistent. The models aren't in complete agreement here. This one is certainly showing it as more widespread and more consistent and prolonged. So watching out for that. So that's through the day on Thursday, and then into Friday. We're still talking about some of this activity coming through to Friday morning. So this is 7 a.m. on Friday, and look at that, still that potential through the Red River Valley and certainly into northwestern Ontario. You don't want to be doing any traveling through there where they could have some of the highest ice accretion, that buildup of ice, perhaps 10 to 15 millimeters, a few millimeters, 2 to 4 for Winnipeg, and maybe 5 to 10 for your situation in Brandon. So watching that so carefully, and then looking at what's coming in behind. How about today? We had strong winds from the south. Well, northerly flow comes in behind this system. Those winds will become stronger, but at least in the north you have clearer skies. Anything but further south. We start off from about -5, and then the daytime high just right around the freezing mark, and you see that in so many cases here, or even below where we get into snowfall. For Dauphin and some of those areas, maybe 5 to 15 centimeters of snow coming your way on the backside of that system. So we need some good news, and we're getting it from Donna. She sent in this lovely picture of Grizz, who does look like a little teddy bear, a little grizzly bear, a sweet one. Doesn't bite. Well, I don't know. And just look at what you could do tomorrow in terms of your dog walking forecast. I could have put red paws in here all day long, because it just is not going to be that pleasant, especially on untreated surfaces. So Riley, everyone just really needs to take it easy.
Thanks, Colette.
The weather update is brought to you by Paul Davis Property Restoration Experts. When things go wrong, we do what's right.
A historical Manitoba landmark came down today. Austin's wooden grain elevator was one of only a handful left in the province. The CBC's Chelsea Kemp was there.
This morning marked the end of an era for a prairie icon. Austin's wooden grain elevator was demolished after sitting by the railroad since 1951. For locals like Netha Hildebrand, the demolition is bittersweet.
Well, it's just our monument is gone. And I drive school bus, so every day when I come driving in, I see that, and now it's gone.
You can see it from the highway. It's a very big staple of this town, and I wanted to see it come down. It was an important thing to me.
It was just such a pillar for the community. Like, everyone knew that that's Austin, that is where the middle between Portage and Brandon is. It's right there.
Pine Creek Hutterite Colony bought the elevator in 2003. Last year it was deemed unfit for occupancy, so it had to come down. The colony's Ian Mandel says it could be seen from miles away, but it was becoming too expensive to maintain.
We use it a lot. It was handy for us at the time, but time moves on.
Reeve Ed Hepner used to own the grocery store across the street. He says it was a beloved landmark, but its age was starting to show.
Well, it was starting to get rotten, and so it would fall over, so it would better be a controlled demolition instead of waiting for it to happen. It might fall on the tracks or something, or we don't want anybody to get hurt.
Manitoba Historical Society's Gordon Goldsboro says at one point more than 700 elevators stood high across the province. Now the sentinels of the prairies are slowly going extinct.
As a symbol of Prairie Canada, it is important to be reminded that these things are disappearing from the landscape, and I anticipate within the next probably 2 decades, maybe less, they will all be gone.
But there's still an elevator in Austin. This one here at the Manitoba Egg Museum. Goldsboro says it's one of a handful left in the province. Chelsea Kemp, CBC News, Austin.
Starting this summer, visitors will be able to drink alcohol almost anywhere in Ontario provincial parks.
We believe giving more choice for how people enjoy outdoor spaces will encourage visitors to spend more time exploring Ontario, discovering all the great things we have to offer, providing first-class recreation at affordable rates, helping to build lifelong memories, and ensuring that Ontario remains the best place to live, work, and raise a family.
Now, the change means beer and liquor will no longer be restricted to individual campsites and allowed at picnic areas and beaches. Existing rules still apply for unsafe or unlawful behavior, including public intoxication or underage consumption. In Manitoba, consumption of alcohol is only permitted on campsites. Well, spring has sprung, kind of, and downtown Winnipeg is receiving a much-needed glow-up as the city kickstarts its annual spring cleanup. 4 dedicated crews are spending 4 weeks polishing, cleaning graffiti, replacing damaged street signs, and pressure washing in the downtown. The city says the goal is to improve the visual experience for Winnipeggers as well as tourists.
I want to encourage property owners to participate in the cleanup in their own way. I know there are several people that I know that make sure that when they go for walks, for example, in the spring, some people take a little baggie along with them, a garbage bag, and they just kind of pick up, debris as they see it. Or certainly in your own neighborhood, on your own property.
A citywide cleanup begins Sunday. The annual yard waste program begins May 4th. We take a trip back millions of years, kind of, right after the break. Stay with us. Well, their colors may be blue and gold, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' finances are in the black, with a record operating profit of more than $12 million. The team spent more than $8 million on improvements to Princess Auto Stadium, including 2 security screening and concessions. Sellout crowds every game last season and hosting the Grey Cup boosted the Bombers' bottom line. 2 new high-resolution video boards will be ready as well for the upcoming season.
And here we are coming off of a day where temperatures are well above seasonal, and then we move into a situation with a wintry mix, freezing rain risk, all of that coming our way, and that special weather statement in place. And for tomorrow, after a low of -5, 0 for the high, so right around the freezing mark. That's one of the reasons, the problems with the mixing precipitation there. Friday, 0, 3 to maybe 5 centimeters of snow on the backside of this system for Winnipeg. And then as we move forward, hey, Saturday, Sunday, baby steps, folks. We'll get the temperature coming up. And once it does into next week, we get sunshine and we get these beautiful temperatures coming back our way.
So we just got to hang on a few days. Thank you, Colette. Well, you may not know that just like parts of our province, PEI is actually a pretty good spot to find prehistoric treasures. And some of the new discoveries over the years have been made by children. We get really technical with our daily lift.
I would dig all the sand, and then if I find a fossil, I'll take it out.
I'm Laura McNeil, and today we are here at Fossil Day 2026, our 3rd annual, held at the Charlottetown Library. Today at Fossil Day, we have lots of really amazing fossils on display, some that are even making waves in paleontology, but there's also lots of fun activities they can partake in, like find a fossil, see if they can, figure out what's rock and what's fossil, as well as a fun trackway making station. A lot of people don't realize that we can find fossils here in PEI. Actually, being an islander growing up here, I thought we were just some big block of sandstone.
And enjoy your toy dinosaurs.
They're actually stuffies.
Sorry.
Stuffies.
Yeah, remember that. They're not toys, they're stuffies. Thank you so much for being with us on this Wednesday. I'll be helping out on Information Radio tomorrow with some of our weather coverage as we see some messy precipitation moving in. So I'll see you then, and back here at 6. Have a great night.